Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Talk Show. I'm Carla Elizondo. Inside Talk Show, it's an inside job. Our goal here is to continue reading things, studying, and learning the tools that help us to live from the inside out rather than the outside in. It's the whole game of life. We're continuing our reading of The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. We're on Chapter 6, How Riches Come to You. When I say that you do not have to drive sharp bargains, I do not mean that you do not have to drive any sharp bargains at all, or that you are above the necessity or having any dealings with other people. I mean, so basically, Wallace Wattles is saying, when I say that you don't have to always drive a really sharp bargain, or it's the competitive to try to get the best deal, or to try to get the best deal from your customer, or get the best deal from wherever you're buying. He is saying that can all be avoided, remember, through creativity. Not that we don't have to deal with people, because of course we do, but we're going to be thinking in a different way. So it says, I mean that you will not need to deal with them unfairly. You do not have to get something for nothing. You can give to every person more than you take from them. So just approaching sales or buying things in a different way. And remember, salespeople have a bad rap, but let's be honest, we're buying stuff all the time. We might not buy from people directly, but we're buying from companies, from institutions. And we clearly buy from them because we like them, or they're giving us a service that we need. And the next time you feel like somebody's being pushy or trying to throw their product down your throat or trying to scam you, just remember that we're all salespeople. Everybody's in sales. We're selling an idea, a product, or a service. Always. We ourselves are a commodity. We're selling our ideas to our friends and our family. We sell people on us. We're always selling ourselves. We are a product. Follow me here. And are you pushy? Right? Are you pushy with your agenda, your viewpoints? Or do people like you? And they buy everything you say. They trust you. And it doesn't always have to be buying monetarily. It's just like, I don't buy that, right? I don't believe that. It's really just ideas. You cannot give a person more in cash value than you take from them. You cannot give a person more in cash value than you take from them, but you can give them more in use value than the cash value of the thing that you take from them. The paper, ink, and other material in this book may not be worth the money you paid for it, but if the ideas in this book bring you thousands of dollars, you have not been wronged by those who sold it to you. They have given you a great use value for a small cash value. Let us suppose, right, when things are just priceless, books, knowledge, information, what he's saying, the paper, the print on this book might have been a few bucks, less than $10, but we buy it for $15 or whatever. But the knowledge that I get from it is way worth more. It's worth more than the $15 that I spent on it. It's priceless. Absolutely priceless. Okay. Let us suppose that I own a picture. Let us suppose that I own a picture which in any civilized community is worth thousands of dollars. I take it in Baffin Bay and by salesmanship induce an Eskimo to give a bundle of furs worth $500 for it. I have really wronged him because he has no use for the picture. It has no use value to him. It will not add to his life. But suppose I give him a gun worth $50 for his furs. Then he has made a good bargain. He has use for the gun. It will give him more furs and much food. It will add to his life in every way. It will make him rich. So say you are a connoisseur of fine art, and you have a piece that's worth $1 million. And it is a popular piece, it's an original, and it's worth $1 million. But you take that photo to an Eskimo up in Alaska, and you say, I'm going to give you this photo and take $500 worth of your furs, or even say $1,000 worth of your furs. You took the Eskimos' furs, but you say, well, this is worth $1 million. This is where it comes into what we value and the appraisal and where it fits in our life. That Eskimo can do nothing with that fine art piece of painting. It will not keep him warm, him or her. It won't keep them fed, sheltered, clothed. You know what I mean? So we have to be ethical and understand that whatever we're selling or whatever we're offering, an idea, a product, or a service, that it's going to be of value to people, more in use value than we took in monetary value. So, okay, so when you rise from the competitive to the creative plane, you can scan your business transactions very strictly. If you see that you are selling a person anything that does not add more to his life than the thing he gives you in exchange, you can afford to stop it. You do not have to beat anybody in business. And if you are in a business which does beat people, get out of it at once. Yes, people might succeed. You know, people that do kind of seedy, weaselly little things just for a buck. Yeah, do they get the money? Yes, they do. But that will not last. It's not permanent. And they're not happy. If they're laying their, head on their gold-plated pillow at night, they might be rich and surrounded by amazing things, but how do they feel inside? They know they're cheating people. They know they're, giving somebody something that is not of value in their life. So rise above the competitive. You don't have to scam people or coerce them into buying something that wouldn't be of use value to them. If you see that there are selling, okay, yes, get out of that business if you are in a selling business that just beats people. Give people more in use value than you take from them in cash value. Then you are adding to the life of the world with every business transaction. Let's think of cash value as energy, attitude. So give people more in positive attitude than you take from them in negative attitude, right? It's like we're depositing or we're withdrawing. Every interaction we have, not just in sales, but energetically. Are you depositing? When people leave, do they feel like they had a deposit, that they left with more before they saw you? Or do they feel withdrawn, like they're depleted, like you just crushed them, you gutted them, you made them feel less than? They walked away from their interaction with you feeling depleted, like the energy was sucked, like a vampire. That's a common word, energy vampires. We all are at times, every single person. And if you spot it, you got it. Just remember that. We're so quick to criticize and to judge, but if we are bothered or triggered, it's because that's a part in us that we're uncomfortable with. So really, we should have compassion for ourselves and then for the other person. Give me one moment, please. Thank you. Had to clear my throat. Okay. So give people more in use value than you take from them in cash value. Then you are adding to the life of the world by every business transaction. If you have people working for you, you must take from them more in cash value than you pay them in wages. But you can organize your business so that it would be filled with the principle of advancement. Thus, each employee who wishes to do so may advance a little every day. You can make your business do for your employees what this book is doing for you. Okay. So if you run your own business, if you sell anything, you can make your business do for your employees or your customers what this book is doing for you, for me. You can conduct your business so that it will be a ladder by which every willing employee may climb to riches himself. And it is not your fault if they do not accept the opportunity. Even though you can cause your riches to come out of the formless substance, which permeates all of your environment, it does not follow that your fortune will immediately take shape from the atmosphere and come into being before your eyes. If you want a sewing machine, for instance, I would suggest that before you impress the thought of a sewing machine on the thinking substance, you first make sure the image of the machine is clearly formed in your mind. If you want a sewing machine, hold the mental picture, hold that image of it with the most positive certainty that it is being made for you and it's on its way. After once forming the thought, have the most absolute and unquestioning faith that the sewing machine is coming. Never think of it or speak of it without feeling confident that it will arrive. Claim it is already yours. This is the rub. We have such a hard time, and I speak from personal experience. You might be more advanced in consciousness than I am, but being able to have a desire, know what I want, and imagine it with full faith that it's on the way, without getting sidetracked from the buts, the worries, the doubts, the past mistakes, to be able to just have a clean beeline with full faith and joy and happiness and expectancy that what I want is on the way. I do that more and more now. It gets easier. It's like any muscle. But like we talked about last week, we have a habit. Our habitual pattern is not expecting, of being let down, of messing up, of being more comfortable in fear and doubt and worry. And that's easy. It's easy to be in fear. It's easy to doubt. It's easy to criticize ourselves and others. It's easy to judge. It's easy to focus on the negative or see the negative. That's easy. What's more challenging and takes more work, but you get better rewards, see the good. No matter what happens to you today, this is good. This is good. I got a flat tire. This is good. My car broke down. This is good. We decided not to go with you. We chose somebody else. This is good. Someone else got the part. This is good. This is good. Because there is good in everything. And that really irritates some people, but it's the truth. And it only irritates some people because they are habitually trained, and it's easy, to focus on the bad. So if you ever want to see somebody foam at the mouth and get really upset, tell them that there's good in everything. And there's positivity in everything. You will see the old paradigms, the old programming, and all of their comfort zones. The fangs will pop out and they'll foam at the mouth. We fight good. We actually fight the good and the positive. We're not trained to see it. And if we're asked to do the work to find it, you're just being stupid. You're naive. I lived that way for almost 35 years of my life. I know where it gets me, internally and externally. And I don't like just to subscribe to that way of living anymore. And I hope that since you're listening to this, if you got this far, you don't either. All right. So, claim it's already yours. It will be brought to you by the power of the supreme intelligence acting upon the mind of mankind. If you live in Maine, it may be that a person will be brought from Texas or Japan to engage in some transaction which will result in your getting what you want. If so, the whole matter will be as much to that person's advantage as it is to yours. Do not forget for a moment that the thinking substance is everything. It's in everything and it's everywhere, communicating with everything and able to influence everything. The desire of the thinking substance for more life and better living has caused the creation of all the sewing machines that have ever been made, and it can cause the creation of millions more. It will do so whenever people set it in motion by desire and faith and by acting in a certain way. You can certainly have a sewing machine in your house. You can have anything you want, as long as you use it for the advancement of your own life and the lives of others. Yeah. I will leave that here and finish this tomorrow. Let me just read this last part. You need not hesitate about asking largely. You need not hesitate about asking largely, asking for big, bold, big dreams, big things. Don't hesitate. It is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. We have dominion over everything. Ooh, what did I hear this morning? Darn it, I'll think of it. But we are here to, the whole thing of, I heard again this morning, the whole quote, life is suffering. And I know that it was translated from hundreds of years ago from the Buddha, life is suffering. I think life is uncomfortable. Life is uncomfortable, but we choose if we're going to suffer or not. We can suffer or not. If, say, for example, you get an assignment to do something new and get out of your comfort zone, say, walk up a hill with a big backpack on that weighs a lot. It's challenging, it's uncomfortable, but you can either suffer doing it or joyously do it. You can do it with a stink face, or you can do it with, this won't last forever. I'll get some good quads out of it, right? We have a choice. Suffering is a choice, I believe. And I've, in my personal life, experienced that. Suffering is a choice. Discomfort is inevitable. That's life. Because that's growth. We're uncomfortable when we grow, when we're doing something new, when we're out of our comfort zone. And I also heard, new is hard. New things are hard. If it's hard, that just means it's new. It just means you're not competent in it yet. It's not your normal. But that's our job, to do new things every single day. Do something that scares you. You hear these quotes. Just get uncomfortable every day. Do something that stretches you. If you find that things aren't changing, or you are unsatisfied with your life, you're upset, you're sad, you're scared, you're in fear, it just means you have to grow. Pick an area. Pick an area. Is it in health, finance, career, love, and relationships? Those are the 4 pillars that I always stick with. What area is it? It might be falling apart in every area, but just pick one. If you feel a little stuck, it means you have to grow. Do something new. It'll take your mind off it, believe me. Just do something new. Grow every day. Living from the inside out. Learn, expand your mindset. Reassess your old beliefs, your old thought patterns. Why do you do the things you do? What habits do you have? Are they serving you? Do you want new habits? This is the work I absolutely love to do. As always, if you have any questions or if you want to schedule a free call with me, my link is in my bio, my profile page, and schedule a call. Free call. I would love to chat with you, get to know you, share my story if you want to know about it, or share your story with me. Ask me any questions you want. I would love that. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday so far, and you had a great weekend, and it's going to be a wonderful week. A wonderful week. Yes, it is. I'll see y'all tomorrow.